Hey guys, this is a tutorial video on how to use my ultimate monthly budget spreadsheet. If you're watching this video, it probably means that you purchased the spreadsheet, and I thank you for that. If you have not purchased the spreadsheet but would like to, check out the link in the description. Once you purchase the spreadsheet, you receive a PDF that looks something like this. I have my socials at the top, and it helps me more than you know if you could take a little time out of your day to follow me on any of them. I would really appreciate it. Step 1 is to download the Google Sheet for yourself. Click on the URL link labeled here, and it will take you to the Google Sheet. If you are not already logged into Google, it will ask you to log in, then bring you to this screen. Select Make a Copy, and now, once it loads, you will have the spreadsheet. The first thing I like to do is to name the spreadsheet after the month and the year that we're budgeting for. Every spreadsheet I make has input cells. These are the light blue cells and the only cells that are meant to be edited. If you try to change any other cells, it will give you a warning. I strongly suggest that you don't change any of these cells unless you are proficient in Google Sheets or Excel. First thing you want to do when you start a new budget is to put the start day. This should be the first day of the month. There are 5 different sections of the spreadsheet that require inputs: income, bills, expenses, savings, and debt. Income is for any money that is coming in. Bills are for recurring payments that land on a specific day of the month. Expenses are for general expense categories. Savings are for saving accounts, investment accounts, and large financial goals like sinking funds. And debt are for any payments on any loans you have. I will fill this out quickly. Now we've completed our budget for the month. This is what it looks like before we add any actual numbers in yet. You can see here on the top we have the amount left to budget. I like to leave a little wiggle room here just in case we overspend in some areas. When you receive income, you can input the actual amount in these cells here. Right? If you scroll down a little bit, you'll find the transaction tracker. Whenever you make any payments, they should be input into this transaction tracker. You can double click the date for a calendar pop-up, input the amount, input the budget name from one of our expense categories, and you can add any notes you would like here. I'll fill this out quickly. Okay, so we have input expenses for a little over half the month. You can see the top 10 spending areas graph is now populated, as well as the table organized by amounts. Let's scroll back up to the budget. And now that you've input your actual income and expenses, the spreadsheet comes alive a bit more. Starting at the top left, you have your amount of money you have left to spend. Next is your total income and expenses. The first graph is the balance tracker. It shows our balance throughout the month. The next graph is a visual representation of our budget overview table, which shows our budgeted amounts versus our actual amounts and a variance. A negative amount in the variance column means that we spent less than we budgeted. Then moving down, you can see each category gives a finer breakdown of the budgeted versus actual and the variances. And that's everything to know about the monthly budget tab. The next tab is a calendar that is completely automated and filled out based on our monthly budget tab. This shows us when we have our recurring payments due. Once you make a payment, you can use the checkbox to indicate that payment was made. Since we have budgeted up to May 18th, we can check off all of those payments. And that's it for this tab. It's very useful and incredibly easy to use. The next tab is the Sinking Funds tab. This tab is for large financial goals that you want to save towards. I will fill this out quickly and we can go over it. Here we have 3 financial goals: a kitchen renovation, a new car, and Christmas. We have what our target goal is for each, the amount we would like to save monthly, and the amount we have saved already when we first started keeping track. On the right, we have our contributions tracker, and we fill this out just like how we filled out our transaction tracker. This tab will keep track of your total sinking funds, the total saved up, And broken down for each one, we have the amount to save, the amount left to save, the progress, the estimated months of how many months it will take to complete our goal, and the estimated completion date. And that's everything you need to know for this tab. The next tab is the Debt Snowball Calculator. This tab gives us a look into how we can use the debt snowball effect to become debt-free as quick as possible. At the top, you should see the starting date, which should be today. The extra beginning payment is an amount you can pay today to kickstart your goal to debt freedom. And your extra monthly payment is the amount above the minimum payments that you can pay so you can accelerate your snowball. For each debt, you'll want to add the balance, the interest rate, and the minimum payment. I'll fill this out quickly. I want to mention that the debts should be input starting with the lowest balance to the highest balance. The snowball effect is that once we finish paying off the first debt, we will use the first debt's payment towards paying off the second debt, and then the third, building a snowball of debt payments to accelerate our way to debt freedom. For each debt, you can see the total estimated amount of interest to be paid, the estimated months until the debt is paid off, and the estimated debt payoff date. At the top, you can see the month countdown to debt freedom. At the bottom, you can see all the calculations. There's a lot going on here, but you see when we finish paying off the first debt, we add that payment to the second debt payment. And that's everything there is for this tab. Now the last thing I want to go over is rolling this forward to the next month. First, go to the top, select File, make a copy, and name the copy the month and the year for the next month, and select Make a Copy. We can use last month's numbers as a baseline to adjust this month's budgets if we want to. Then we want to delete the actual amounts for income, all of the transactions from the transaction tracker, and we want to uncheck the boxes from the calendar. And that's the end of the tutorial. If you have any questions or run into any issues, please do not hesitate to message me. Lastly, if you enjoy our product, we encourage you to leave a review. It helps us out so much. Thank you and have a wonderful day.